Hello and welcome. It's 100% bonus fame day. I'm hiring the manager and the agent. I haven't done this for a while, so I thought, hey, I'll record it and let you guys see what I'm doing, how I can go so far in this car. Didn't even do any training runs. Usually I need to, so we'll just see how this goes. Tilt B controls, steering sensitivity 0, all assists must be off. I'll argue you need those steering controls. If you're super experienced, you could do this with Tilt A. Steering sensitivity, this car is pretty twitchy. I recommend lower than normal settings. I use 0. Like if you normally use 5, I would say drop to 3 or 2. Drop to 2 for this car. So again, I haven't done this for a while and I didn't do any testing. I just jumped in and went for it. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy. Ooh, that's a little bit of an error. I went off track there. That's going to affect my speed down the straight here. We will be getting into a few things like purchase price, upgrades, special events, things like that after I reach the perpetual point, which is the point of the race where you can go forever if you've got the skills or if you want to. So I'm kind of laying back a tiny bit, which can be risky in this car. Normally, if I'm in my training, if I'm like really running good, I hit the perpetual point at the end of the second lap. So we'll see if I can keep that going here. Again, I'm taking it a little bit easy. Like even this, I'm holding back quite a lot actually, which isn't a good idea to hit the perpetual point. If you're unfamiliar with this phrase, perpetual point, I made that up. I've coined that phrase. The other thing you hear about is endless endurance. I did not coin that phrase. So many races in this game are endless endurance races if you've got the skills for it. Didn't mean to tag that guy, so we'll just see if that affected me at all. You got to be careful there of contact. I know my speed down the first Mulsanne straight. Even here, I can top out at 427 right about at the end. Oh yeah, okay, I'm fine. That's good, that's good. So perpetual point, that is when you've passed 42 cars. Pretty well everywhere in the race, once you pass 42 cars, I mean everywhere in the game, once you pass 42 cars, you're at the endless point. The only exception I've ever found is in McLaren Generations at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the McLaren a P1 GTR. That race used to be endless until update 6.3 when they changed things. So there we go. That's the only exception I've ever found to the 42 car answer. So as soon as you pass them, it's go time. So that's why you see me going crazy. If you're not familiar with this racing, you're going to be like, why is this guy passing so many cars? Why is he going off track? What's wrong with this guy? You need to do this if you want to trigger the endless point. Otherwise, the most you can do here is about 75 kilometers. I think that's about what I did. I'll post a video. Years ago, I made a video. It's actually got animated Magnus in it. If you haven't seen, you might not have seen it. If you're a newer fan of my channel, you might not have seen this video. I animated Magnus. I gave him a voice. I animated him. It's kind of crude animation, but it's hilarious. I did a version of this where I do not go off track once because all the haters were saying you couldn't even go 40 kilometers without cheating. So I proved how I could go way more than that. So I forget what it is, but definitely this is impossible to go endlessly without taking off track cuts. Is this cheating? No, it's not cheating. Why? Because they allow us to do it. Cheating is when there are defined rules and you break them. The creators of Real Racing 3 have no problem with this type of racing. How do I know that? They put my videos of this right in the game. If you go into the game, you can find my videos showing endless endurance racing right in the game. Obviously, they don't mind it. They love it if people are going to put like a half hour or an hour into the game every day. Of course they love that. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's within the rules. When you finish an endurance event, sometimes you'll see a screen that says just go as long as you can in an endurance race. There's a penalty. Every time I go off track, my distance counter turns red. That means I'm earning no currency when I'm off track. I am accepting that penalty for what it affords me. So if this was a cup race, like if this was like, strict racing, even in a cup race, you can go off track and win. I mean, that is getting I don't even mind that. Time trials is where there really shouldn't be any off-track cutting going on. But even then, I have done it. I've got a video where I did that in the Koenigsegg Jesko controversial video, where it's like, well, this is a game. Like, did I pull off something highly skilled or did I cheat? Hard to say sometimes. In real life racing, if you don't push the limits, you might as well hang up your helmet. Like, forget it. Real life racers push the limits all the time. Principals, crew chiefs, they push the limits all the time. Anyhow, this is about earning currency. And that's 100% bonus fame day. I'm earning an insane amount of fame by doing this. Like over 7,600 fame per minute. I'm not sure, we're gonna do the math at the end of this race. The amount of fame I'm earning is gonna be nuts. It's gonna blow your mind how fast I can earn this fame. And so the question is, do you run 10 laps in the LMP1s or do this? Well, you'll see the answer. So, usually I'd be at the perpetual point by now. I am nervous. I'm not wanting to drive it really crazy, but I should have been there by now. I've really changed how I do this race. I used to do this race with a lot of contact, a lot of physical smashing of cars. You're gonna see a different ME7. I'm going to avoid contact for the most part. I'm gonna drive clean. In fact, I'm gonna take less off-track cuts. You'll notice that I'm only gonna be cutting corner 1 at this point, or chicane 1. That's all I'm gonna cut unless I get damaged, and then I'll do more cuts. Or unless I'm super low on time. Maybe I should be cutting this corner, but I'm not gonna. I mean, this is the perpetual point up there. You can see it. You can see the gaggle of bots. You might have thought I reached it at the end of halfway through lap 1. Sorry, at the end of lap 1 there, but I didn't. When I was reaching Porsche curves, there was a bunch of bots, but that's just what happens. That's not the perpetual point. You'll see it, but this is getting low on time. It's possible I should cut this corner right here. I probably should, but I didn't. Oh boy, we're gonna be down to fumes, boys and girls. I know there are some ladies who play this game. There's some ladies who are really good at this game, actually. Anyway, oh boy. So definitely full throttle through this. Tiny lift point here. I did a little brake tap. I usually wouldn't do that. Watch this. 1. So I contacted him because I wanted him to nail the brakes. Normally I wouldn't do that. Here I'm going to shoot the chicane. This will get risky. I might have a little bit of contact. No, nice and clean. Okay, now I'm safely in the zone, and I'm going to dial it back a bit. I just want to make sure I can keep my timer full though, so I'm going to still blast this pretty aggressively. Let's just see. No, it's looking pretty good. I'd like to pass this guy before this first corner. If I can't, I got to be careful. Ooh, that's close. Little bit of slipstreaming. Okay, purchase price of this car is 1,200 gold. To fully upgrade this car is just over 6.7 million R dollars and 1,565 gold. Now you don't have to do that. There have been 2 special events for this car. First, you've got the McLaren MP4-X Championship. This is run twice. And then Formula Future for the McLaren MP4-X. Formula Future only ran in update 4.7, I believe, going by my memory. I don't think it ever ran again. I have put in a special request for them to please run it again. It's been so long since I did it, I don't remember if there were some nasty glitches. If a special event has nasty glitches that are too hard to fix, they don't run it again. But they've run the championship several times, and I think the last version of the championship, you needed even more upgrades. But, oh well, I mean, if you're saving on the purchase price, that's a good thing. If you're saving on that 1,200 gold purchase price, then even if you have to get more than all 3s for upgrades, it's worth it. This is a difficult car to handle. At any point, this car is capable of oversteer and understeer. No, not understeer, oversteer. It's always capable of oversteer. You can always throw this car sideways anytime you want to. So it is a challenging car. This is a true fantasy car. It does not exist in real life. McLaren made this for video games. It's kind of cool. Especially when you have some car companies that are really resistant of their cars being in games, while you've got McLaren making fantasy cars for video games. That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to shoot this past this guy, slingshot past him. See that? No contact. And then with my clock this full, I can actually slow down for the last chicane. I could blast by this guy right here, but I'll wait for a little bit. I could have taken him on the earlier part. You'll see me doing that later. This is the only corner I keep cutting, the first chicane here. And I do that, I'm even doing that a little bit carefully. So 1, 2, 3 cars there. And one more here. Catch this guy maybe right here. Yay! Ooh, that's a little bit risky. That's not a good place to lose control, because I'm going to suffer down the whole first Mulsanne straight here, which is pretty long. Now, with no damage at all, I will max out at about 436 before my first braking point. So let's just see if that's... Oh, definitely no damage, or else I wouldn't go over 425. 434, 5... Yeah, see, I was late. Because of that mess up, I was late. Oh, there you go. I still got one. That's good. Usually I'd get two. I'll get a nice pull down the second section of the Mulsanne Straight, heading to the second chicane. I'll probably pass him early in the chicane. Hopefully. Pass him down low. Yeah, baby. Now, of note, at this point, every car is faster than a fully upgraded car. So you'll notice out of the corners, I catch up on them. Obviously, I'm in the throttle first, but then they start to pull away from me. People have tried explaining this different ways through the years, and usually it's people that don't understand the game. Like, they'll say, oh, you got in the grass. Getting in the grass doesn't matter in this game unless all four tires are on the grass. 2 tires on the grass doesn't matter in real racing for the exact same acceleration. In fact, you can get back some acceleration. If you've got damage, you can regain acceleration by taking 2 tires off track. I often forget that. You regain your top speed as well. Of course, it's not useful when there's walls. Yes. But there we go, slipstreaming there nicely. So if you slipstream too much heading into Porsche curves, you'll have to alter how you take it. This car is pretty grippy though. For the most part, it's not going to matter. Now, I'm not going to get too aggressive here. I like to overtake at the exit of this section. So right here is a great overtaking spot. You can get around guys without contact. That was really close to getting contact. And then here, I could pass this guy at the second part of the chicane. Watch this. Oh, I went a little bit off track there. You can do that without going off track. So here, sometimes I will lay back. See that? I was just giving a bit of distance. There's no use to making this really risky. You can take it easy. Oh, nuts. Big gaggle up here. You have to be careful. You can't be too careful in this race or you run out of cars. So there's a combination of, if you run too crazy, the bots start crashing. So I've had it happen. Oh, this is going to be nuts. I bet you're going to hit 440s. I'll get back to what I was saying in a bit here. Let's just see if I hit 440s. With a big toe? No, I lost it. I've had bots crashing at this chicane. That's why I'm laying back right now. I'm a little bit nervous. So 2 overtakes is still lots. I mean, I'm almost have a full timer. But you see, between this guy and the next and the train, there's quite a gap. And that can get you in trouble. So you've got to stay aggressive, or else you're going to run out of cars. And so there's an interesting balance where you don't want to drive it too aggressively, but you don't... Oopsie. Did I tag him? I don't think I did. You don't want to drive it too aggressively, but if you don't drive aggressively enough, the race won't keep on going. So there's a delicate balance there. We'll see how far I can go today. I've never made 1,000 kilometers. I don't know if I want to do that today, but we'll see. I'll keep it clean as long as I can. If I end up getting damaged, I'll have to alter my race strategy. That's where I end up getting a little bit dirty at that point. Once I get maximum damage, I don't mind doing pit maneuvers and whatever it takes to keep the race going. You don't have to. If you're really careful, you really don't need all that. Now here I was nervous. Okay, if you overtake a bot heading into a corner, there's a chance that they're going to lift off the throttle and just plow you into the corners. So I always get nervous of that heading into that corner. It's a good overtaking spot, but I get nervous. So I'll probably overtake this guy at the same spot. Like I could overtake him here. I don't want to. There's no need to. He's going to brake at the exit of this. Look at that. Nice and clean, no contact. And then I'll overtake this guy at the second part of the chicane. I could hold back, but it's kind of nice to check this out. No off track. You see that? Nice, hey? And then here, I could create a bit of a gap. See, I'm feathering the throttle a bit, just letting them get away from me a little bit so I'm not tangled up. Then I can anticipate this, nicely get back into traffic. There we go. Might pass this guy here. I'd like to. I wouldn't mind to. There we go. A little bit of contact. Didn't really mean that. Let's see if I can still hit that 436. I had a bit of contact, which did give me a bit of side draft. So it's hard to say if that hurt me or not. We'll know at the end of this. If I hit 436, it didn't. Yeah, it looks like it did a little bit. 434. I'm on the brakes a little bit early. I'm taking it a little bit easy. Still got 2. That's decent. Getting 3 is about the most you really want there. You don't want to go too crazy. This chicane, I'll probably only get 1. Who knows? I might get 2. I might get 1 here right at the entrance. And then this guy. Oh, look at that. Nicely. I really wrestled with that second chicane for years. I'm finally comfortable there. I used to wreck there all the time. I used to overbrake there all the time. I just couldn't get it. The first chicane felt so good to me, the right, left, right. But the second chicane with its left, right, left just felt wrong, and I could never get it. Well, obviously I got it. It took a long time. The problem was, the first chicane and second chicane, it's not just that they're opposites. The first chicane, you can substantially go off track, and it's not considered off track. The second chicane is not like that. They're very different. And so what I had to do, what I had to get in my head is to stop thinking that they were mirror images. I just had to get that out of my head. They're completely different. And then I did a lot better. Now, we're a little ways away from 100 kilometers, but just so you have a heads up, I'm going to do a slight pause at 100 kilometers. One of the reasons for that is I will stop and restart my recording. If I make my screen recording too long, I risk losing it. It hasn't happened for a long time. It used to happen when I was on Android, and so I just kind of get nervous about that. And I don't like stopping and having a break in a really intense race like this. I really like to keep my head in the action because there's a flow. If you pause a game like this and like take a half-hour break, I find it really hard to get back into it, especially. This is really intense driving this car, so it's hard to get back into the action if you take a really long break. Okay, so let's see here if I can get a nice toe. Yeah, let's get around this guy. Very nice. So I'll wait till I hit 100 kilometers. I won't be exact. I'm definitely not going to pause the game in the middle of a stressful chicane. Like this chicane's going to be tight. See if I can nicely get 2 here. You see, I'm really staying away from the bots. I'm really trying to not have contact because you just never know when the contact is going to go horribly wrong. And that's where I made so many mistakes. It used to be very rare for me to make it 100 kilometers without damage. Now I've gone over 500 kilometers in a heavily damaged car. It's possible. You just got to be really dialed in. Okay, little break here. So that's longer than what it appeared. I deleted some of it. But I just resetting my recording and back to the action. So that's already pretty impressive. 100 kilometers, that's already pretty impressive. And woo! See what I mean? He decided to let off the gas and just go. So you gotta be careful. I don't know if he damaged me or not. If I can get into the 420s, I'm gonna assume I'm not damaged. I was a little bit late to the throttle because the guy schmucked me. That's far enough that I'm pretty comfortable to say that I'm not damaged. I got a lot of time on the clock, so I can take this corner normally. I don't even get this guy if I overtake him. Nicely done. Okay. You can take that corner surprisingly wide without going off track, as you just noticed. And then as we get into Porsche curves, I don't think I'll catch anyone until the chicane. I don't think I will. Let's just see how fast I can take this. You'll notice I'm just doing the lift point now. Oh, wow. Check it out. Look at that. That surprised me. Yeah, so for this whole back section, ooh, no brakes again. Slingshot around this guy. Beautiful. And then I can lay back a little bit. Don't want to encounter the traffic too early. I like to take this close if I can. Don't like to be off track too much. Because, of course, you lose a lot of momentum when you're off track. I like to get one of these guys now. And I'll just lay back a little bit, take it easy. You can get into the 440s if you stay hooked up on the draft here. It's pretty crazy, actually, how fast you can go, which gets kind of sketchy. I don't like to get too fast heading into the first bit, into the braking point here. It just causes drag. I mean, as it is, that was 438, and then I've got to overbrake it, and then it just throws off my rhythm. You know, there's a rhythm to this game, and so that chicane, my rhythm was just messed up because I was going too fast for my braking point, There was a bot on the way, and then you really just don't drive very good. This will be a little more normal. Get one there, get one here, one more. Oh, beautiful. Triple overtake on the second chicane. I mean, that would have never happened to me just 2 years ago. Like, just forget it. It took me like 5 years to get comfortable with that chicane. It's kind of crazy. Well, maybe more than that. And then I could get this guy. Looks like I won't. Get you a bit of side draft here. And then I can trust him. He's not going to go in front of me until he's clear. Bots actually won't sweep across your nose very often. Extremely rare that they'll take your nose out in regular racing like this. In the first lap of a cup race where they're racing formation, that can definitely happen, especially at like a track like Circuit of the Americas. Definitely can happen. There I just wasn't sure if that bot was going to be doing his crazy stuff again, so I took it easy. So far, this has been really clean. I haven't gotten myself into any trouble, really. Like, here I've got nothing to worry about. I don't have to worry about him. There's no worries about me finishing this lap on time. So, I don't think I'll catch this guy. Probably not. Oh, look at the gains, though, because they break at the exit of that corner. So strange. But you'll notice here, I'm not on the brakes. I'm just lifting off the throttle. Zippity zoom around him. Zippity zoom around him. Full timer. So you get 68 seconds when you cross the start-finish line. Biggest bonus amount of any endurance race. So that's pretty sweet. And woo! Really didn't want to slide into that guy. I mean, that's a massive loss of speed. But I'll overtake this guy. I'll be able to hang back a little bit. Nicely take him here. So because I hung back, I'm probably only going to get... I'll only get one car at the chicane, at the first chicane. Hopefully I'll get one car. It's funny because they're so late to the gas. It really changes things. Nicely, no contact. Now I took that a little bit careful, so I might just get one car in the second chicane. Nice distance though, and we're only 22 minutes into this race. With that's a pretty good distance so far. I think this is lap 9, is it not? Yeah, I had to drive that chicane a little bit carefully, so I'm a little low on time, actually, as far as... this might be the 10th lap. I'm a little low on time as far as how I would be doing this. Kind of like to have around 65 seconds at this point. 60 seconds, that's not bad. There's a lot of bots in front of me, and they're closely gapped. So that gives me some nice options if I'm low on time. Like, check this out. Look how you can just flick back and forth between lanes. So crazy. I'm not losing traction at all when I'm doing that. This car's nuts. Like, it's just a crazy car. It's faster than the 919 Hybrid Evo, but the Evo is actually easier to drive. Oh! That might have damaged me. See what I mean? I mean, this car is capable of stepping out anywhere at any time if you're not careful. It is a hard car to handle. Now, I'm going to be okay on time. It's going to get close. I'm going to just be okay to finish it. That's another reason why you always want to have a timer that's as full as it can be in case you make a stupid mistake like I just made. Hope I'm not damaged. I'm shooting the chicane for sure. I got enough I could make it on fumes, but there we go. But see how I did not fill the timer? I'm not going to back off here. I'll pass this guy at this slight first corner here and then blast the chicane. Now I'm nice and full. Here's the thing, guys. When you make a mistake like that, you think, oh, well, I caught up to traffic. It's going to be fine. No, the consequences to that mistake are going to catch up to me. I got to be careful. So part of the thing that keeps the bots closely grouped is fast back-to-back lap times. So if you make a massive mistake, the bots can gap a little bit a lap or two later. So you got to keep the pressure on. You got to keep it going. That was pretty good, though. And I might get this guy here. Like, that was a very small mistake. I mean, I did plow into a wall, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like a total collision where I came to a dead stop and was facing the wrong direction, and I mean, that's harder to recover from. Look at this. No, that was close. I went off track there, but I'm really I'm really pushing it now because I do want to make sure that this lap is really good. Oh, I didn't pay attention to my lap counter. This must be lap 11 though. I mean, isn't it? Really pushing it, as you can see. Okay, the gaggle's in front of me again. That makes me happy. Gaggle, it's a funny word to some people. Just a bunch of bots. I can see them down the track there. So if I had to make some cuts, I'd be fine. I don't want to, but if I had to, I could easily refill this timer. Like, this is a lot. I got a lot of time on my clock. I can maybe overtake this guy heading into this corner. Oh, beautiful. Maybe get one more here if I'm careful this time. Nope. Okay, I'll get beside him for a bit and then I'll slipstream. I really just, if I've got 38 seconds on the clock when I start this section, I'll make it to the start-finish line. I got 10 seconds extra. I'll easily pass this guy at the exit of that section where I like to overtake guys. Ooh, if I wanted to, I could overtake him here. Well, not now, not with all those mistakes. I might still get him here, though. Let's just see if I can do some slipstreaming. Oh, yeah, look at that. Slingshot around him. Beautiful. Slingshot is when you catch a bit of slipstream and then zip around a car. So, slingshotting, like if you've ever used a slingshot. Oh, that's funny, because I think the current producers of this game, or I think it's Slingshot Games, is it not? Fire Monkey Studio is gone. That was in Australia. They shut that, EA shut that down. And so we got Slingshot, so that's hilarious. I love Slingshot. It's an awesome term for awesome racing term. Woo! I got on the brakes there to save it. That's bad. That's bad. I was braking a bit early and then overdriving the corner. Oh, that's bad. Okay, well, gotta not let that get into my head or I'm gonna make a mistake here. So, yeah, I'd like to catch this guy. Oh, nuts! I might have damaged my car. I let it get in my head. I pushed it too hard. I should have just been more patient. Like, I damaged myself and I didn't get the overtake. What was the point of that? If I would have slowed down, it would have been better. And so there, I got 2, but I'm 20 seconds low where I'd want to be. Oh boy. Mistakes like that are what stop a guy from getting 1,000 kilometers in this race. Okay, well, we'll just see. Nicely there. Get on this throttle a little bit. Oh, I didn't get on there early enough. That slipstream would have made up for the difference. Let's just see if I hit the high 420s now. If I don't, then I have at least stage 1 damage. Very curious here. 410s. Ooh, you see my speed taper off? I'd say that's stage 1 damage. Okay, I got that guy. I can lay back a bit. Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh boy. Well, okay, but I'm right on this guy. I should, as long as I don't do something stupid like slide out. Oh, look, they're driving off of me faster. I'm pretty sure I got stage 1 damage. I'll catch this guy at the exit of the next section here. Definitely need to. Slingshot! I backed off. See, I'm learning. There's always another corner, but I'm very low on time. I need him now. And I'll get this guy here, and then get this guy here. Refill that timer. Let's see what happens down the Mulsanne Straight. Pretty sure I'm damaged. The reason why that matters is I have to adjust how I take corners if I'm damaged. This car is not going to have the same handling if I'm damaged. And I'm not going to catch him. Okay, so let's just see if I can get into the 430s. 410s. Ooh, I'm tapering off. 419. Okay, well, I got to the 420s. About the maximum I can hit with stage 1 damage is 424. Ooh, boy, I shouldn't give him the pit maneuver. I'm very tempted to. I'm going to lay back. I'm going to just be reasonable. But if I give him the pit maneuver at this point, I'll do more damage to myself. I can't afford to lift off the gas and get some of the pit maneuver here. Okay, let's see if I can get a couple now. Oh, I tagged him. Natsaroni. That's going to be stage 2 damage. That was a serious tag. You could see me send him off into the wall. If I was to pause the game and check, we would see a crack in my... It's not really a windshield, it's a dome. You can't see it when you switch views, but we would see it if I switched views. Oh my gosh, I'm low on time. Okay, I'm gonna be doing some extra cutting now. So there's gonna be, after the first 90-degree corner, there's a second 90-degree corner. I'm going to cut the second corner because I've got nowhere near enough time. And look at them disappear. Like, I'm barely into the 410s now. So, nice close group of bots. That's great. I'll get 2 or 3 by doing this. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm easily safe to the end of this lap. And I probably won't see anyone until the last chicane. I'm not going to get guys at the drive out of that one section anymore because they're driving away from me so quickly. So watch through this. I'm going to do a slight lift point coming up here. Very slight lift point. But I won't catch him because he just got too far away on me. Now, I've got enough to get to the start-finish line, though. I don't have to go too crazy right here. But I'm going to just, I want to try to get the gaggle going again. Lap 14, which is pretty impressive at half an hour's point. Lap 14. Definitely more than you can do in the LMP1s. Way faster lap times in this car. It's ridiculous in this car. Oh, they're nicely grouped together again, though. I still have to be careful. I mean, getting even here, I'm going to be careful. I don't want to slide out. And as you saw, I hired the manager and the agent, and it's 100% bonus fame day. So you actually get 4 times the fame. That's how this works. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll get into the math a bit at the end of this race. Ooh, look at that. That's a tight pass going between those 2 guys. But I didn't contact anybody. At this point, though, with maximum damage, I don't care. I'll do pit maneuvers on people. You can guarantee it. I'll do pit maneuvers to keep this going, just to see how long this goes. So when we get to the math, I'm going to do the math from green light to the moment it says race completed on screen. And that's what I'll do as far as the race time's concerned. So I've got a pretty decent timer, though. Like, unless I make massive dumb mistakes, I can keep going pretty far. But you see that? Now watch this. Pit maneuver, yeah, no problem. Just don't try it too early. You want to wait till the car's almost passing you so you don't lose a lot of momentum as you're doing the pit maneuver. At this point, I'm fine till the very end of this lap. If I don't pass anyone else, it won't matter. I've got more than enough time on my clock. So, but the risk is the bots are going to start to get really spaced out. And that's the risk. I'm going to actually do another cut here. I mean, I've got all sorts of time on the clock. But you just never know when you're going to make a massive mistake and you need all this time. So I'm going to try not to make a massive mistake. Here, I just need to drive smart. So coming up in a little bit, I'll do that slight lift point right there. And then I've got so much time, I actually don't need to cut the last chicane this time. But I might, just to keep the bots, try to keep the bot spacing going here. You know, like, that's not too aggressive. Nice. All right. This is looking pretty good. Pit maneuver on him. Goodbye, silly bot. And yep, we'll still shoot the chicane. And oh! I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting the bots to be side by side right there. Okay, well, I refilled my timer, but look at this. Where are they? I mean, they're just gone. That's the type of mistake that ends your race. Okay. Well, I've got to drive very clean now. Very fast and clean if I'm going to recatch the field. Even if I recatch the field, it might not matter. Let's see here. Well, there they are. That's not too bad, but 62 seconds on the clock? I don't know, guys. At this point, I'm not even sure if I'll hit 200 kilometers. Because, like, just look how far they drive off. Well, will I catch anybody here? Not likely. Yeah, I might not even catch anyone at the entrance to the back section. Oh gosh, I mean, I really wanted to hit 250 as my minimum. Anything over 100 is definitely worth it. I'm not going to restart the race or anything like that. That was pretty good. So, I'm nervous though. The bots are gapped out. They're not as tight as they were. So I'm definitely going to take a cut coming up here. I think I'll hit 200. And that's pretty good. And we'll just see. So now, when I do the math, we'll see how fast I was actually running. Oh, I'm low on time. I'm going to cut this. Oh, big mistake. Oh well. Okay, so this car slows down really fast. Very shortly after my timer hits 0, I'll throw my car sideways, and that ends the race a little bit quicker. But I'll get will I get 200? Yes. Woo, I'll get my 200. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I'm happy with that. And then I'll just huck the car sideways here. Okay, so actual race time is 34 minutes and 52 seconds. So I was making 26,646 R dollars per minute. That's amazing. 7,850 fame per minute? I didn't know I could make that much. Wow. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me today. Drop a comment if you want to. See you next time.